Right here is good?
Yep.
That mic in a good spot. We got good audio?
Yep.
Can you hear me well?
Yep.
Can you, all right. Are we on?
Yep, we're on.
Oh, we're on. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Surrender Lab. This is our fluid night. In our fluid night, if you haven't joined us before, we like to make ourselves more fluid. We used to call this night edges, and then we called it melt. We called it a few different things. We kept on graduating it, and right now we like to combine several different things, and so we call it fluid. And so let's just get right into it. Do you guys want to? Are you guys wanting to be in the? Okay. Thank you for going off there. Heat. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to start out standing up, and it's this night. There's nothing right or wrong with any way you do this whatsoever, but we're going to give you tips and tricks that we've learned over time that help us to tap into the concept of self-healing more efficiently. And so let's get started by just widening our stance a little bit, taking a big, huge, deep breath in, standing up nice and straight. Don't worry about dropping into your posture or anything. Just stand up nice and straight. Take a big, deep breath in. Bigger breath than you normally take. I like to fill my lungs up, but I also like to, when I get up to the top, I like to fill them out. And then release that. Every time you take in a new breath, imagine yourself receiving new. So you're inhaling new, everything new. You're not valuing anything old. We're letting our minds go as much as possible. We're finding the place between our thoughts. We're going to breathe in the new, and then when we exhale, we release the old. Breathe in the new, release the old. Practice that as often as you can think of it while we're doing what we're doing tonight, because the more that we match our full body to our awareness, to our breathing, the quicker we understand the concept of what it means to be fluid inside of ourselves. And that place of being fluid is where we can actually feel ourselves healing ourselves. Because it's kind of like approaching I'll save that for a little bit, because we'll actually do a demonstration with the gong with that. So, one other thing we're going to practice tonight is we're going to do all these things that we're doing with more slowness than we're used to. So we're going to practice going into whole body movement, just kind of summarizing it all first. And we're going to slow that movement down so much so that we really become connected to and make sure that our breathing is fully aware of all of our body movements. And so tonight, we're going to just go into a little bit more slow motion. So go ahead and take another big deep breath in, and this time, go all the way to the top, and as you exhale, drop your position down a little bit to where you get down into just a little bit of an athletic stance. Not too much where your legs are going to get sore. Stay in this position for a minute where you drop your core just a little bit, maybe an inch or two, to where you can feel like you're a little more nimble on your feet. Just like you can move real quickly if you needed to. Get to that point, and then take another nice deep breath. This one take nice and slow. And release it nice and slow. Just relaxing ourselves more and more every moment here. Whenever we're tapping into a meditative practice, I like to draw our attention to a couple of basic things. One is, the goal here is we want to be relaxed first to create sensitivity. So relax. Even though we're standing up, relax into this. Your awareness, you want to keep on the inside of you. So as much as possible right now, no external focus except for just the voice that you're hearing. And if you're looking, it's better if you close your eyes if you can. But if not, then just try to make sure that you're realizing that every single thing you're perceiving on the outside right now It can actually be happening on the inside of you. And so your awareness on the inside is a key to self-healing. The other thing is, in meditation, like on Monday night, we like to practice stillness because of what it brings for us, because our bodies are so used to being agitated and triggered and feeling like they got to move in response to the things around us. But practicing stillness is a very valuable thing, which trains our bodies how to be less triggerable. And so tonight, because we're moving into a fluid session, and it's not just sitting here finding the place between our thoughts, we're actually standing here, finding the place between our thoughts, getting there, getting nice and balanced there, knowing that each in-breath means something new. Every exhale, release, 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 taking you deeper and deeper and deeper into relaxation. And we're not going to be standing up the whole time. But while you're in this position now, start to sink just a little tiny bit lower in your stance. And allow for there to be a tiny bit more tension in your quads, in your legs, in your core, and wherever you feel it in your body. Try to make sure that your whole body starts to become connected. We're just still increasing our sensitivity, and at the same time becoming increasingly aware of our whole body connection. So that if I was to move to the left and shift my weight onto my left foot, I can feel that in my right side as well. I'm aware of what my right side's doing while my left side's taking this. So I'm balancing myself to allow energy to go here, and I'm releasing tension on this side to be able to do that. And when you go to the other side, same thing. Trying to become increasingly aware of our whole body connection. So now I'm going to be quiet for just a few, and we're going to practice just getting our breathing to match our awareness on the inside, and then that to match our body movement. And remember to go nice and slow here. Just becoming nice and sensitive to how slow our bodies can go.
So what are we supposed to be doing?
Just practice matching
With our bodies.
your breathing, whatever you want. Just right now, you're just becoming aware of your body. Match your body to your breath first. Let's keep practicing that for a minute. As you breathe in, imagine the same thing we were talking about, where you're receiving new through the inhale, releasing the old, and it almost kind of starts to feel like you're just sitting on a beach and you're just watching the tide come in and out. And there's this ebb and this flow. And it's a natural state. You're not trying to do this as much as just allowing it to happen. And we're just increasing our sensitivity that we're a breathing thing and we're standing here. But we want it to be fairly effortless at first. If you need to raise yourself back up a little bit, go ahead and do it. If you want to drop yourself down in a little bit further and you feel more advanced with this, then just go ahead and do it. There's no right or wrong pace here, other than tonight we're practicing fluidity, but in slower motion. There's no right or wrong. This is just you just taking care of yourself. A little bit of leaning, a little bit of lovingly leaning into our edges. Once you feel like you have a pretty good handle on That you're just a breathing thing that's just taking it pretty easy here. Let's go ahead and really slowly start at your head and start to turn it to the left and allow the rest of your body to follow. And just kind of put yourself into whatever position you need to be able to turn the circle that you're getting ready to turn, because your head is driving you to the left. Turn your head as much as you can to go ahead and feel the edge, and then let the body follow. Remember to breathe. By keeping your core dropped a tiny little bit, it gives you a little bit more control. The bending of the knees a tiny little bit gives you a little bit more control of being able to feel the whole body as you're doing it. Nice and slow. Shift your weight back and forth however you need to. We're just making a slow, slow turn to the left, letting your head drive the rest of your body. Trying to become aware of all the feelings that we feel on the inside of our body. Nothing wrong with any of them, just gaining sensitivity. Now let your head, now go ahead and stop your body from moving to the left. And just take your head and keep it over the side and get a nice, big, long, slow head roll in. If you feel any pops, there's, in my experience, absolutely nothing wrong with the pops. I love to find those pops next. It makes me get to an edge and then roll over the edge of it. And the pop is usually say, hey, pay attention to me right here. Let's give it some nice patient love. Now let's take ourselves into this position like Ashton's in right now. Take ourselves into that position as much as we're able. If you can't go down that far, it doesn't matter. Just put yourself into a position where you're going to actually value the squat, value taking and dropping your core straight down. Widen your stance a little bit if you need to. Narrow it up if you want to. Go nice and slow going down. I like to put my hands together and press a little bit so I can feel where I feel that in my back and in my arms. Not too much. Just slightly feeling up against the edge of where your edges are. Just lovingly leaning into our edges. Nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. Just taking care of ourselves. Play around with your arms a little bit to where you can feel what it does in your back. You can feel what it does in your shoulders. You can feel what it does in your hips. Just move them any way you want to, nice and slow. Try to have both of them match so that there's not one doing its own thing, but try to have a whole body awareness. I like to bring mine into a nice big circle that rounds out. And I'm going to drop down this time right onto my fingertips. And if you need to stand up for this and drop down in the knee, there's no right or wrong. Just do it at whatever level you're able. And allow your fingertips to touch and connect with the ground. And then imagine those fingers, each one of them is like a root going down into the ground. And as soon as you feel like each one of your 10 fingers, however many you have, is connected to the ground nice and gently and evenly, and start to raise your backside, nice and slow, building flexibility and strength all at the same time. Remember your breathing through your nose is best. If you can, all your inhales and exhales through your nostrils. You need to do through your mouth, it's no big deal. Just make sure you're aware that your breathing is matching itself to your body movements. Straighten up your legs if you can. And allow the energy in your backside to just kind of roll over the front of you. And try to find an effortless spot right here where you can just rest for a minute. Just settle. Try to just find a place between your thoughts right now for a minute. No, don't be looking for an edge. You're gonna feel some edges right now. Try to find the place that's right in the middle, where you're just aware. If you need to drop down to your knees to do that, that's fine. Try to make sure every movement is nice and slow. I'm going to just really slowly raise my head, start to feel that in my upper spine, in my upper thoracic, so all up in my shoulders and my back, my traps, that whole area. Start to feel the edge again. And let your spine naturally roll. Whatever you got to do with your legs. Keep that energy in your back, in your spine, and really slowly, remember to match your breathing to your awareness. Roll that awareness really slowly right down your spine until it gets all the way out of the bottom. Anytime you need to take a break, do it. Don't feel like you have to go at any certain pace here. You're just practicing becoming more fluid, being more sensitive to what's going on the inside of us. Realizing that all that connective tissue inside of us can become stronger and more flexible all at the same time. Becoming aware of the fact that we're our own healer. And there's nothing outside of us that's going to help us as much as our true strength that's on the inside. We're going to start to make a really slow transition. Try to do this what's slower than you can imagine right now. Just go nice and slow from whatever position you're in to getting down onto your knees. Try to keep your awareness on the inside. Right now in my toes, I'm doing that same thing I was just talking about with my fingers, where I'm actually letting my toes become nice, big, nice roots that are going down into the ground, getting connected and getting grounded with those. At the same time, trying to feel an equanimity of balance in my toes, in my leg, all the way up into my hip. There's going to be spots that are more tense than others when we're doing this. That's what we're trying to do, is become aware of those spots so that we can learn how to balance them out. A little bit at a time. Whatever pace you want to go. This practice of slowing everything down, in my experience, has made it so that I'm less triggerable, less aggravated, less anxious. It makes me feel like I can have more control over my whole entire world rather than feeling like it's happening to me. I feel like it's all happening for me when I try to maintain control like that. I'm going to rotate back down into resting on my calves with my buttocks. Nice and slow. Trying to keep your awareness on the inside, becoming aware of where you feel the most tension, and just take your awareness right there. All you're doing is just becoming okay with what's going on, realizing everything's okay right here in the present moment. All I'm doing is learning how to become receptive instead of resistant to what is. And put yourself back into a state of more relaxation rather than leaning into your edges. Put your head down and just melt yourself into the ground. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to do this. Don't be hard on yourself. You got an inner critic going off. It's okay. But what we're doing is learning how to tame that inner critic. Learning how to put our egoic mind into the co-pilot seat and buckle it in and let our awareness, our ability to observe, be the pilot, but in total tandem with our co-pilot partners. Equal partners. Ashton, is there anything you'd like to say regarding becoming more fluid in your life?
Sure. I'm going to rest here for a moment. Another moment.
Okay.
Before I say anything.
Go ahead and stay in this position until your body wants to move. Whenever you do move, just make sure you're moving nice and slow. Keep your awareness on the inside and try to make sure your breathing is matching your whole body connection and movement. You want micro movements with full awareness as much as possible. Increasing our sensitivity to that. Allow yourself to relax even more. Let your whole body go into another layer of relaxation.
I think it's very good to be mindful of our micro movements or when we relax, when we really take note of those tiny little areas that are holding us at a little bit of tension that you can just let go of just the tiniest bit. It shifts everything around our body. It's like, when an earthquake happens, like it takes a while for the tension to build up before a big shift happens. And it's kind of the same with this, where all buildup of so many micro releases and releasing this micro tension is just weeding up for you to be able to release some of the larger roots of our tension and all across our body mind systems.
Well said. Just relax with slow awareness of slight movement. We're going to start to make a transition to getting onto our butt. We're going to move to our back. So no matter which way you want to do it, it doesn't matter. Just practice right now slow awareness on the inside, micro movements, whole body connection. Receive the new with every inhale, release the old with every exhale. It'd be nice to have the vibrations going. Huh? You want to play me? Sure. If you want to, I can do it if it's.
I can.
Right now I have most of my weight on my left hip, like I'm playing around with an edge that I have in there. And I'm feeling it all the way up into my back, into my shoulder, down into my right arm. But it's definitely less tension than it ever used to be because I just keep on doing this kind of thing and it gets more and more flexible every time I do it. As I move a little bit, I feel all the weight start transferring. I feel that every part of my body that's aware of the connection, it starts rolling into new open spaces that it didn't have before. Increasing my elasticity at the same time as being patient, building more strength. Our bodies are magically capable of being able to do this at whatever level we're at. You'll find spots where the tension becomes pretty intense and you find yourself not just approaching a wave, but you're like, you get up to the very top and you're like, ah. Well, that's the place where I love to hang out now, because now I'm finding out what it's like to be cresting out on that wave, and you start to feel like you can almost like, yeah, I can do it. I can feel my whole body connecting to this, and you start to feel, as you match your breathing to it, that you start to like, you're learning how to surf your present moment. And you can match it to that breath. And then you, as you're surfing, you're finding where the edge is, and you're like, you're just riding it. I'm going to start playing around with my arms a little bit to try to create different areas of awareness and find other edges. I'm going to just play around with, almost like make yourself feel like you like became a jellyfish or an amoeba. I like the jellyfish maybe better, to feel like you can feel all the energy around you, and you can play with that energy with your whole body connection. I'm going to reposition myself a little bit so I can lay down. Go slower than you normally used to go, building your patience. Set your body moving to very comfortable posture laying down. Just become very, very, very relaxed again. And let all that tension that you were just feeling ride its course. Naturally do what it does. Just lay here and observe it. Notice the difference in your body when you turn your hands face up versus face down. See what you feel different in your body when you do that. Try it back and forth and keep your awareness on the inside and try to increase the sensitivity you feel when you just play around with whether your hands, your palms are face down to the ground or face up. Has anyone prepared the chicken's blood, knives, and candles? Just kidding, just kidding. Keeping the light on the inside. Doesn't have to be serious. We can laugh at ourselves while we do this if we want. Just trying to learn how to enjoy life more fully. Take another nice big deep breath in. Receive all the new. Let it all the way out. Release the old. Do that a couple more times. And then your last one, when you take your breath in, take a bigger, deeper breath than you had before tonight. Go all the way to the very top. Fill it all the way up and out. Let your rib cage expand. And when you get to the very, very top and you don't think you can take any more, try to take a little bit more. Just get all the way there and then hold it for 10 seconds. And when you release, try to create that same kind of bandwidth on the exhale. Remember to release all the old, any tensions you feel in your body at all, we're just releasing them right now. New, fresh, clean oxygen. New. On the inhale.
And relax your forehead even more. Relax your shoulders even more. Let your whole torso just drop heavier into the ground. Melt your hips. Let them just melt. Let your legs be heavier. Ankles and your feet just relax from all they've been carrying around today. Say something nice to yourself. I'm not going to pick it out for you. Just say something that you know is nice to yourself right now in your mind. Tell yourself some loving words. The more we become aware of our impact on our own insides, the more we become aware of our impact on everything else everywhere. Because we're connected to it all. And we're having an impact everywhere, whether we're aware of it or not. Trying to increase our sensitivities. Valuing what is the very most. Everything that is right here in this present moment is as it is. Is it okay? Am I okay with everything as it is right here in the present moment? Still the present moment. I still get to choose whether I believe everything's okay or not. Not to say there's not all kinds of things that we could be focusing on and making changes on and bettering the world with. Right now we're finding the place of true strength that lies within, instead of believing that any amount of false empowerment or limiting empowerment with external focus, which is what we've been doing for so long. We're not letting that rule us anymore. We're just finding that true strength that's inside, it always overpowers and gives us more of what we want in life than that limited empowerment, which keeps us focusing externally. That's why we've been triggerable instead of in control of ourselves. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's all of us. It's how we learn to mature. Just moving beyond the idea that independence and self-sufficiency are the ultimate. They're important, but just a step along the way. Trying to graduate ourselves from our dependency through our codependency into our independence, but then loving the edge of finding out where all the best enjoyment comes when we release the idea that we're going to find the most success when we're the most individual. Because it's when we collaborate and co-create that enjoyment increases. And the more we collaborate, the more enjoyment we have in our own lives. And the reason we do this is because we now believe with firmness that everybody deserves to enjoy their present moment. Do you believe that? Ask yourself, yeah, do I believe that everyone deserves to enjoy their present moment? It took me till I was over 50 years old before I believed that. I'm not saying it's wrong if we don't believe that.
Yeah, I do believe that. Everyone deserves to enjoy their present moment right now.
Thank you for being that way, Ash. I feel your impact on me right now. Start with the very crown of your head and just take your awareness there. Try to make sure that your breathing is matched up to your awareness. Take however much time you need to stay at the crown of your head. Just sense any sensations you feel there without labeling them. As soon as you sense anything, allow your awareness to just move slightly. Come down the outsides of your skull. Slowly start encompassing your ears and your face. You can almost feel the warmth or the wateriness or the fire of it or the wind of it. It doesn't matter what your mind is projecting onto it. Just allow your awareness to slowly move down your whole body. Relax your jaw. When your awareness gets to your shoulders, let it melt them into the ground even more. Let your awareness move down your torso and down your arms. Everything being even more relaxed as you go. You can feel it relaxing more and more. Fully aware, but increasingly relaxed consistently. When you get down to your hands, play around with your awareness and go into each finger. Do it as slow or as fast as you want to. Allow it to relax your hands even more. Play around with your awareness. Keep it moving. Remember, you're not labeling anything, just sensing. No right or wrong with how you're doing this. Sensing whatever you're sensing, it is what it is. As soon as you sense anything, slowly move your awareness down a little further. Let your awareness encompass your hands and your whole torso and your hips all at the same time. awareness move into just your hips. Just relaxing more and more and sensing what you sense. It's melting. Becoming a little bit more like water. Every moment that goes by, just a little more watery. As you inhale, imagine you're bringing a nice wave in from the ocean and just letting it wash over you. When you exhale, flowing and washing right back out over you, taking away all that tension, helping your body to be even more weightless and relaxed. Let your awareness move down into your legs, your quadriceps and your hamstrings. Relax your glutes more. Keep your awareness moving downward in your body. Slowly becoming aware of what it feels, just sensing it, and then just moving down even further, just leaving a wake of more and more relaxation. Take a nice sized breath in through your nostrils. Don't fill up your lungs all the way this time. Just a nice sized breath in, and when you exhale this time, let your awareness and your exhale wash right down your body, back down into your legs at the same pace. Let your awareness and your breathing flow up and down your body at the same pace. Matching your breathing to your observation of all your sensations. Your awareness down into your calves and your shins. Relax your knees. Slowly move your awareness down into your ankles. Let any of that tension go that you feel there through your exhale. Your exhale and your awareness in tandem, in partnership, letting the tension be felt, honored, and then released. Nothing wrong with the fact that it's been there. Now we're inviting it to go ahead and leave. Take your awareness slowly into your